Well, the first day was just a marvelous competition, and the Chinese men are ranked #1 in the world, and the American men came very close to beating them. And this was a major psychological victory for the men. But for the ladies, they beat the Chinese girls. They lost to them in the '83 World Championships, and beating them here today is very, very good news because it gives them the edge going into the Olympic Games.
Handling Olympic pressure can be a problem that can bring on defeat. We'll get a chance to see how Team USA can solve this problem in just a moment. Aloha from Hawaii. We'll be right back. Athletes who practice every single day, as Kathy Johnson does, inspiration is important. Where does it come from?
Well, I think I decided a long time ago that while I'm in the sport, I want to learn all there is to know about gymnastics in all aspects of it, and that's what I've set out to do, and that takes time. And I decided I wanted to put as much time as I could into it, and it took so long to get to this place that I am right now that I want to stay in as long as I can to enjoy it.
And right now, Kathy Johnson is the oldest woman competing in gymnastics. 24 years old. She has called many places home, but right now you can find her in Los Angeles getting ready. Here she is.
Still some great shape. Into Sukahara, laid out, just pikes it down at the very end, but what control on the landing.
John, this is one girl you really have to side with. Back in 1980, she was second in the Olympic trials, and now she's ready for '84.
Right, and watch the Sukahara. It's a half turn onto the horse, and a back somersault layout, just pikes it around at the very end, but what a great landing. And Alan, I'll tell you, after the '80 games, there must have been a tremendous letdown. And to see her here in '84, that's just great.
Well, John, I'm not sure I've ever prepared 4 years for anything in my life. Not even my college diploma. I took that one day at a time. I can't imagine what that feels like. 9.75 as Kathy Johnson gets things underway. Attempt #2 for her.
She's in good shape and very prepared mentally to compete against this Chinese team. Concentration. Strong run. Sukahara with a full twist and a great landing. And this is a very good vault for Kathy. In fact, she's very pleased about this.
It seemed much crisper than her first attempt.
Well, Sukahara full is a newer vault for Kathy, and to perform at this level with such control, she has to feel just super about it.
Her coach, Don Peters, just another one of the well-known names involved in gymnastics in our country.
Sukahara, full twist, and the landing. No extra steps.
9-8-0 for Kathy Johnson of the United States as our USA versus China Invitational continues. Zhou Ping of the Chinese team.
Alan, in international competition, they take the two scores, the two vaulting scores, they add them together, divide it, and the average score is the score that counts. Round up back handspring, Sukahara. Woo! She was way up there and in laid out position, very quick.
Well, we're beginning to associate one thing, the Chinese and oohs and ahs from the crowd. Watch again.
Watch this, a round off back handspring onto the horse. And then a Sukahara full twist, almost in laid out position, with a great landing.
Great height, great spring off the horse.
Just a slight little wiggle step at the end is the only deduction I saw.
It wasn't much of a deduction in the judges' eyes. 9.95.
Alan, whatever she gets on this next vault, they're going to average out the two vaults, and that will be her final score. So she starts off with a 9.95.
And Kathy Johnson's average, by the way, was a 9.775. Second and final attempt, Zhou Ping.
And they are two different vaults each time. That's the requirement. Round and back handspring. Sukahara laid out. One big step forward. The only difference that I could see is that maybe not quite as high, and that one big step forward. And that's a big 10th deduction. Watch. Round off, back handspring, punches on the board, hands on the horse, back layout. A little short, not quite as far away as before, and that big step forward.
And her second score, 9.7, and her average 9.85. Next up for the United States, Zhou Ping's final. There you see it, 9.85. We go to the Stars and Stripes again. Here's Diane Durham, the 1983 USA all-around champion, the pride of Gary, Indiana. Her first attempt.
Watch Diane. This is one of the strongest events. Powerful vaulter. Sukahara layout. And once again, way up in the air. But Alan, it's that hop backwards and then the little step afterwards. This is what hurts.
400 horsepower vault right here. She has to look at those legs churn.
Watch how high she gets. Way up there. Nice laid out position. Great vault, but then step. You caught it. And that'll hurt her score.
And for Diane Durham, a 9.75. Identical to Kathy Johnson's first jump. But remember, once again, the Americans are looking up at the top at the Chinese. Right now, Zhou Ping, her average 9.85. Here's a second attempt for Diane Durham. USA needs a big number here, and this is the lady that can deliver.
Diane probably will do a Sukahara with a full twist. And the key here is not just doing the vault and getting great distance, but how you land it. Sukahara full twist. Whoa!
She delivers airmail. Diane Durham.
And is she happy about that?
High fives. This could be a big number for Team USA. Her coach, Scott Krause, his work has paid off.
What a wonderful vault. A Sukahara laid out, straight body position. Here comes the full twist, body straight, and a great landing.
You hear the crowd. They're responding to a 9.95 for Diane Durham. That will bring her average score to 9.85. She is now tied with Zhou Ping.
Average 9.85.
Now Ming Guizhou.
Final vaulter from the People's Republic of China, Ming Guizhou.
Well, that was a handspring front somersault at pike position. Not quite as dynamic as the previous vaulters, and she took that one huge step forward. So I don't think you're going to see a very high score.
Well, Ming looks almost frail in comparison to Diane Durham.
It's a handspring, front somersault, pike position, very pretty form. Bends the knees at the very end, and he has that big step forward. Over-rotates it.
Second attempt now for Ming Guizhou. Her first, a 9.75. A little higher than I thought, John.
Well, it was a pretty vault, but she didn't show the control on the landing that is required.
Okay, second attempt.
Sukahara with the full twist. That was good vault, except I think that her amplitude from the horse could have been higher, and she had, once again, that additional step. It kind of traveled, didn't go up as high as you'd want, and on the landing, that big step.
And the second score for Guizhou, 9.85, a very good score. Her average, 9.8. And so at the top, it will be Zhou Ping and Diane Durham at 9.85, and Ming Guizhou of the Chinese team, a 9.80. We're all looking forward to the Los Angeles Games, and they're thinking about the traffic on the freeways. Here in Hawaii, they're not worried about that at all. There are different ways to travel.